Hello and welcome to the Crow's Nest. My name is Brandon Kane, and I know we've been a little away for a while. We're in full swing on my football side of things, but today we've got some baseball afternoon action on tap here with our Mariners deep down in the heart of Texas, trying to take down this Rangers team, remain in the playoff hunt. The Toronto Blue Jays won today, so it's going to be very important that our Mariners hang on in here today and keep pace, on top of maybe still putting themselves within earshot, eye shot of getting themselves to a division winning spot as well. So we'll be doing the play-by-play today. We got Crawford up with a 1-1 count to begin things here as Mariners went with the interesting lineup today. You can see the Service trying to kind of put the best he can, the best cast of characters he can here together to make this work. And that's good to see, as you're going to try to do here. Can't leave not any room left. All hands on deck. Nice job by Crawford here, showing you why he's a good opening leadoff hitter for you in his ability to take pitches and be patient up there, make the pitcher have to work a little bit with him. You got the lefty on the hill today for the Rangers. Montgomery with the 3.38 ERA this year, so he has been tough. Seattle countering with a right-handed heavy lineup here. 2-2 pitch to Crawford. Bats it right back to the pitcher. He's all over it. The Rangers are wearing hideous uniforms today. They're wearing what would look like, the uniform that they used to have those guys wear in mental asylums. It's not quite a smock. It's somewhere, in an in-between place. They're wearing something like that today. So it's if my eyes start bleeding at any one given point, it's because the Rangers have lost their damn mind with the uniform combination today. All right, Julio steps up to the plate, takes strike ball one. Eric Wallace, how you doing, man? It's good to see you in the chat. Hope you're having a great night. Debo, what's up, Debo? Says, hey, Brandon, good to see you. Good to see you as well, too. I'm trying to sort of schedule this out when I'll be able to do as many of these as I can with us. And Julio's going to sky this back. Maybe in play? No, not a play. 1-1. We'll be trying. I've got at least two more I know we're going to be doing on deck here for the next couple of games coming up before the end of the season. So some of these games don't fall in good times, like the football game tomorrow at 1, and they start 11:25. But we will try to get a couple of these rolling out as we can. Big Country, it's good to see you. Big Country doesn't look like the Beijing Rangers. That's real. That looks like a Japanese uniform, and not one of the cool Japanese uniforms, but one of the lame ones. I didn't even know that. Do you call that sterile white on the tops? Is that what we call that? And you can throw a pitch or perform surgery in this uniform. All I'm saying is let's check and see if he's got a scalpel in his back pocket. 1-2 count here to Julio, hitting .283 with 31 bombs on the year, 100 RBIs. Member of the 30-30 club. Gotta wonder if maybe that 40-40 might be a mark in line next year as a possibility. 2-2 count here to Julio. We're going to come inside on him here. He misses out over the plate, and Julio smokes this ball out into the gap for extra bases. He's rounding second. Is he going to try for third? Looks like he is going to stay a second. Nice job by Julio. Catcher set up on the inside part of the plate. The pitcher ended up missing away, and Julio just put a nice level, just a beautiful swing there on that pitch to go. That's such a hard ball to hit like that on a line drive opposite field with that much force. Just shows you how fast his hands are through the zone. But nice job by Julio. Big game rod, as I like to call him. Teoscar Hernandez hitting a little bit higher in the lineup in the third hole here. Takes a breaking ball for strike one. kind of the little change. You got Eugenio dropping down just a bit in the lineup. First, what they've done for the majority of the season. Kind of just tells you about what I think Service is most comfortable in and what he's seen from this year in the lineup, who he's trying to get the most at-bats to, basically, here. It's what I think he's doing with. And this ball is hit hard to the shortstop, who throws out Julio at third base. Julio running the whole way. Oscar will be on first now. He hit it hard right at the shortstop, but nice play by the shortstop there, too. Quickly gets it over and gets Julio. So 2 men down. Teoscar on first base. Cal Raleigh will step to the plate, hitting from the right-handed side today. Not really as much his best side, especially when it comes to the power numbers. Ball 1. Nitro Hawk, how you doing? It's good to see you in the chat. This is Big Country. Oof, Julio has to be aware there. Yeah, there's not a reason to necessarily run to third there. You're in scoring position. You do not want to be, really thrown out there at third. There's not as much of a game by you taking that extra base. Julio trying to be aggressive there, but it's definitely a base running error. This ball is hit up foul and playable and out. So Julio smokes a double, but the Mariners aren't able to do much else other than that. We'll go into the bottom of the first inning. Nothing. Jason McEward says, let's go Mariners. Let's go Mariners, Jason. Let's get it done today. Let's keep pace. Let's make this happen. Let's make it happen, Captain. Mariner offense was rolling pretty good last night, but just starting pitching and bullpen couldn't lock it in, unfortunately. I think we'll be as well for what I think I'll be able to do as a schedule on this as we're going forward is I think we're going Monday. Monday will be the next one I'll be able to do. Well, if you guys are looking for when we'll go live again. So we got Monday and then actually probably next Saturday. So these will be our next couple of games we'll be doing because everything else is just not kind of aligned really well for getting them off with football going on at the same time. It's good to see, though, Jason. Chronos, this game feels almost like a must-win, even if it's just to keep the spirits high in the final stretch after last night. I would feel kind of similar in that way. You drop this game, you're now back a couple games in the division. You're through like maybe upwards of 3 games in the wild card. I mean, we don't have the room for error. The team needs to get hot here and find its footing, and it's going to take them playing well through this back stretch here to make this happen. And it isn't going to be easy with Houston and Texas. So, hopefully they can pull this in this game. But I agree. I mean, a loss today really is going to dim the hopes. You're almost going to have to feel like you got to, maybe you only win 1 or twice more if you got any hope to get through. Megan says, Crow's Nest, hey B, hey gang, what's up, Megan? Here for a few minutes, getting some much overdue Ollie time after the weeks I've had. It's very much needed. Sounds good, Megan. Hope it's a good time. Chilling. Appreciate you jumping in. Ethan Tech World, what's up, Brandon? We have to get it here. We got to get it here. Got to get it here. First pitch swinging here against Logan Gilbert. We fouled back. Megan says, Ollie said he needs to talk to you in Pumpkin ASAP. Well, we got to get that set up, Megan. Got to get figured out. For sure. I have to wait till I get to after baseball because I'm flying right now between both sides. Hit on the ground quickly to Eugenio and then thrown out. But, yeah, we'll get something set up. Logan gave up 5 runs in his last start against the Dodgers. They kind of got to him a little bit. ERA at 3.76 this year right now. He's had overall, I think, a pretty good, consistent year, but there has been some kind of up and down moments throughout. Inside, ball 1. But you let Ollie know, we'll get it figured out. We'll get something set. We'll get something set. Ball hit hard on the ground right at Ty France. He's up with it, throws it out to Gilbert for out number 2. Nice to see Gilbert finding the zone here quickly. He said, I said that he'd have to wait, and he gave me the same look I give you when I tried to tell him Dave Craig's better than Jim Zornby. Well, it runs in the family, Megan. That's all that means. Just runs in the family. That's awesome. Well, you let him know soon. We'll get something figured out soon for that for sure. 2 men down here. Nathaniel Lowe takes a ball outside here. Lowe hitting .271 with 16 bombs on the season. Gilbert, the wind. Fouled back. Gilby's got the fastball going 96 here so far out the gate. Looking good. But yeah, as you guys are saying in the chat, the way I see this too, this really is very good. It's kind of close as we can get to this being kind of a must-win game outside of not exactly being a must-win by the sheer, definition. 2-1 count. Lowe hits this one again foul. He's having a hard time getting around on that fastball of Gilbert. A little late on a couple of these swings in this at bat. Even still, Seattle's got their infield arched to the right. 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3. Come on, Logan. You can't hit your fastball. 97 in on the hands that time. Foul back again. Again, he looked a little late to me on that. Big Country, it's head scratching that Kelenic isn't in the starting lineup. You've gone so right-handed heavy in the lineup here right now. 3-2 pitch. Batted hard. Right at Eugenio Suarez, who shows off a little bit of that vert. Catching the line drive a couple inches up off the ground, and that will be out number 3. Nice reactions there by Eugenio. I don't know if Kelenick's done, I know, pretty good against lefties this year at times, so that's part of what you're probably wondering about with that Big Country, but I think that Service is just leaning into the going as right-handed heavy as he can against this pitcher. I would estimate that Montgomery's probably extra especially tough against left-handers. So I can get it from that. And you do then have Kelenick's bat to bring up off the bench, later on in the game. But the ideal here would be to start Kelenic if you could. Only Crawford in the lineup today is the only lefty we got. Definitely was a point of emphasis for Service. Wai-Kwan Huang says we need our batting average up. Yeah, we do. We do. I mean, it's certainly something that when you're looking at this offseason, when you're looking for hitters and which kind of hitters to go after, which kind of hitters to avoid, finding guys that can both present better averages than the low 200s, get on base, not be as maybe leaning into as much the need for the long ball, and that can offset some of the lack of long ball with an ability to kind of pepper the ball around the park a bit, a little more of bat control. This kind of hitter, some of these kind of parts, to whoever we go look at to bring in. We got plenty of home run guys as it kind of is right now. And the Blue Jays just snuck that game out against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Yeah, wild card right now. Mariners a half game back of the Blue Jays. 0-1 count here to Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio hits us in the air to right field. Lazy fly ball. The right fielder's all over it. Out number 1. Yuquan says, can't always rely on Julio and Cal Raleigh getting hits and home runs. Like, why is Haggerty and Moore in the game? Moore is trash. I think that was a little bit of what Big Country was lamenting as well. And I think it comes, I mean, I'm just explaining from where service is from a managerial standpoint. The lefty versus righty thing is usually pretty true. You look at the splits of it, and I mean, let's just look at it because it does look like it's a point of discussion here. A 1-0 count to Ty France. One and one. One and two, hit foul back there now. Trying to see if I can see where it's. If I can find where it is with left-handed hitters. 1-2 count. Batted opposite field. Nice line drive stroke there by France. Good piece of hitting right there. See, when France is hitting like he's been in years past, that is the kind of hitter that would work here. He's missing, obviously, some speed on the base pads, but he's usually been that kind of hitter in years past. It's just this year it hasn't been quite there as much. Looking for seeing if I could find that deal. What I was thinking I'd probably see here. It's low on Dylan Moore, ball 1. What I was thinking I was going to see was a pretty stark difference between left-handed, right-handed splits for Montgomery. That's the main thing I'm trying to see if I can locate. They always bury these stats, though. It's always buried. 1-0 count here to Dylan Moore. France on first, top of the second. Nothing. Check swing. 1-1. Ball, foul. Splits. Yeah, you can't just kind of easily find the left-handed. I have to figure out how to find that stuff. Swing and a miss by Dylan Moore. 1-2. Or maybe one of you guys has it. I'd be interested to know what it would be. So Yoquan, that's what I'm thinking here is that maybe the service is being informed here by just how well this guy does against lefties versus righties. And Dylan Moore strikes out, though Dylan Moore's trash looks pretty correct there after that swing and miss. Carter says, wow, France got a hip. Well, his only one this series. Y'all have been beaten down by this season, huh? I feel you. I was in the same place this year. Like, come on. You're supposed to be a high average guy. 0-1 count here to Haggerty, and you're definitely seeing the lineup the first round through here, as we saw with France. Even Julio taking their first pitch, being patient up at the plate, trying to probably eat up some pitches from Montgomery here early in this game. Swing and a miss outside there by Swags. The ball was 3 inches off the plate. Megan says, can you say hi to him at the Crow's Nest? Hi, Ollie. What's up, man? Ollie, we will talk very soon, bro. Okay? You hang in there. Be a good lad there for Megan, and know that we'll be getting a little Zoom meeting going on. All right. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Shout out to you, Ollie. All right, we got a no 2 count here to Sam Haggerty. France at first, and Haggerty swings at 2 straight pitches that are both about 3 to 4 inches out of the zone. Montgomery's got some gnarly stuff, but that's not going to work. Yuquan says, I can't really watch him more bat anymore, man. It was interesting to me, too, Yuquan, that they gave him that 2-year extension this offseason. Where you go, why are you guys doing that? It's like one of those, like, we're going to be so smart and ahead of this one. But why are you guys doing that? It's not, we don't need more mid hitters. We don't need more league below average hitters. It's not working. Yuquan says, like, the only batters who I feel like can contend with the Rangers are Julio, Cal, Tio, and honestly JP. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think this is, you're touching on Yuquan a little bit, why I feel like from as much a frustration standpoint of anything, and we go into this offseason, that I've understood the patient approach by the Mariners. I advocated for the fact that they didn't make a go-forward move at the trade deadline because I wasn't sure the team had really shown enough that you could walk away going, we're one player away. This team's just one player away. So I've understood and been patient with all of that. I haven't been one of those ones sitting there who's chomping at the bit, tapping my toes, going, you're going to make us wait again? But now we get into the offseason, and now the toes start to tapping, and now my patience starts to get wore a little bit thin. If I watch this organization come into this offseason for now back-to-back years having the most profitable major league ball club in the entire sport, and yet you're still refusing to put your payroll up and around the spot other teams are, especially those teams that you've got to compete with, like the Rangers, like the Astros. And if they don't do it at that point, I'm going to run them pretty hard. I'm going to ram full speed ahead pretty hard at that point. You've had your time for patience. You've had your time to kind of, twizzle around here and sort of wait for the farm system to develop through. And again, I am knocking it that it's brought us about a reinvigorated farm system, and we got a lot of great young guys on the way. But now's the time to go out there with this ball club where it is. Let's not waste what Julio's doing. Let's not waste what we're getting out of Cal Raleigh from the catching position. Let's start to, maximize this stuff. 1-1 count here to begin the bottom of the second inning for Logan Gilbert. Josh Young up to the plate. He swings and hits this one high into the air. Julio Rodriguez is underneath it for an easy catch. Man says, thanks, B. He's so excited. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hope you guys have a great day out there. Devo says, we need Ham Swaggerty to step up like last year. The drip has not dropped quite so hard this year, Devo. It's a once every month drip. It used to be once every game drip drop. Now, not so much. And sad to see. We need him playing like he did last year. We need some of that, we need some juice in this lineup right now. I think as Yuquan put it, that's very true. Where it's like you're just sort of waiting for Julio, Teoscar, or Raleigh to do something great. And you need some of this rest of this lineup to kind of come through a little bit here, especially this game right now when you need this game so badly. Gilbert pitching very carefully to Dulles Garcia. Can't blame him for that here. He's got a 2-1 count, and Dulles takes a big old hack and fouls it back. Sounds good, Megan. We'll see you back in a bit. Sean Lee says the Cougs already up 14-0 on the Beavers in the first quarter. Go Cougs. Say what these quarterbacks that are going to be coming out in next year's draft just continue to impress. Another big swing by a Dulles boy. He just hammers that ball foul. He got a hell of a swing on that pitch, though. That's one where you're glad you're bringing a glove as a fan, because you try to barehand that thing and good luck. That's taking some fingers out. William Leonard, yo! What's up, What's up, William? How you doing, man? 2-2 count here to Dulles Garcia. Ooh, almost got him to swing. 3-2. Yuquan, exactly. Like, I always feel like this team has been more lucky than a lot of teams like the Angels, but the Mariners just don't really do much about it. Yeah, I think that they've had this trust the process thing go on, Yuquan, which this is where we come to the spot of me being patient. 3-2 pitch here. And that's going to be racked down the line for a nice easy double for Adalis. Let's see if he'll stay on that, and it looks like he will. That's where my patients understood. When Dipoto came here, he didn't come here with the cupboard that was full, but was empty and dusty, and he had bad contracts on the books that he had to get out from under. There was a lot of work that had to be done there, and the groundwork had to be done. It wasn't going to be the sexy kind of work where you're signing the splashy guy and you make a couple of these signings and turn everything around. It was going to be we're going to develop this thing kind of approach. So we got one man down, runner on second here. Garcia on, getting his lead there from second base. Strike. And so I was going to give him that patience for knowing what he was having to inherit. But now we are kind of far down into the line. Now you've had back-to-back seasons here with whether we get to the playoffs or not here with this team. They've shown you they're very close and could use some help. And if you look across this team, and yeah, it's great to have the prospects going, but the place that's stark, that is clear where you can get the help, is the fact that you have a bottom third payroll in this sport, and you are the most profitable team in the sport now back-to-back years. So ain't going to miss here, by Jonah Heim. So that'll be 1 and 2. Heim is just wearing the Mariners out this year with a batting average well over 400, and he's also hitting 374 with runners in scoring position. So this is not the easiest pull here for Logan. How did Oregon State get up to be the 14th ranked team in the country? That doesn't make any sense. Ball batted on the ground. Caballero's up with it, and he will throw him out. So 2 men down here. Garcia will get over to third base on the throw. But Equan, I'm not going to be that patient approach thing. And I'm, as you can hear with it, I'm not knocking anything Dipoto's done with that up to this point. I get it. Like this last year, you could say, well, go spend money. Just go spend money. But that spending money approach in free agent hasn't always worked well. There wasn't necessarily those guys that were really clear guys that were going to help you. The Teoscar trade was great. That's proven out to be, definitely helpful. Now he's a free agent, but I think you've got a couple of approaches here that are different from recent years. You've got the Shohei situation. You've got the ability to bring back Teoscar and then build upon that. I think that there's just a little more flexibility in the way that you can spend the money this year, which has me now being a little more chomping at the bit saying, okay, go spend the money this year. Okay, now go do that. There are viable options out there. Take advantage of them. Will they, won't they? We'll see, Yuquan. But you, I will both be equally pissed off if they're going to take the same old approach. We just don't like the options are out there. You just can't buy yourself a championship. You just got to develop a championship. Shut up. Shut up. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. All right, 1-2 count here to Mitch Garver. Man, this whole Texas Ranger lineup hitting over 300 runners in scoring position, it seems like. Garver hitting 313. Batted on the ground, and man, he just dribbled it through a hole. Oof. He got sawed off right on his hands, inside-out swing. He's a righty, so France isn't playing as close to the bag. France trying to get all the way back over there. Nice, just inside-out swing, man. That's hit them where they aren't, Almost looked like a ping pong swing there. And Ethan says Gilbert is hanging out a little bit too much in the middle of the zone. Yeah, definitely on that pitch, especially there. All right, gets the first pitch ground out here, though, and that will retire the side. But the Rangers with a couple of hits, 1 run, and they will take the lead here in Texas. 1-0, end of the second. Sean, how much does Shohei's injury now affect his next contract for us? I would estimate, if I was to walk through what I would think to be the logical process on how Shohei's, because this begins with Shohei's agent, and Shohei's agent is going to be one who says, we want to be paid, I would think, until we hear different, that this information may change as we go through, Sean. They may just announce where Shohei swallows the tough pill and he goes, okay, I got to put down the pitching. This is the second Tommy Lee John surgery that I've had. I can't keep going down this line. It's obviously too much, and I am only going to be getting older now. And so I do wonder if they will just say he's just going to be a hitter. But let's just say it goes either direction to me. I don't feel like the Mariners can allow the contract situation to be affected by the injury. I don't think that the Mariners can be affected in this situation by the contract being dictated by him being looked at as both a starting pitcher and as a hitter. Even if you know as an organization that there's a good chance you're not going to be getting the pitching side of that, or that the pitching side of that is not going to give you the returns of what it once did. And the reason I say that is because the hitting side of it, him as a fit as a fielder side of it, him as a fit as a base runner side of it, him as a left-handed power bat side of it, it all adds up too much benefits to this team to let that part of it be a no-go for me. From my standpoint, Sean, and I'm going to do a video on this for the channel, there is not a spot where you don't go in on this deal to me. There's not a dollar amount that you're not willing to pay. You're just the most profitable team in baseball now 2 straight years. And Jose Caballero steps up to the plate, takes an 0-1 pitch here. You're the most profitable team in baseball the last 2 years. You have a bottom third payroll. You have room for error. Julio's locked up, your most important star for the rest of his career, basically. You don't have any major worries. You maybe like to start looking at getting Cal, but here's the thing with Cal. I don't think Cal is going to sign an early contract. He's got Scott Boras as an agent, and so I think he's going to like what Boras does with his baseball players. 1-1 count here to Caballero. Swing and a miss low. Montgomery getting Mariner batters. Look, if you're a light-hitting batter like a Dylan Moore or a Caballero or a Haggerty, you've got to grind these at-bats. And all of these guys right now are swinging at pitches that are out of the zone here early on, which is mighty frustrating. It's one thing when you got your big swing, big hitters missing at these pitches. It's another thing when you're a, light hitting second baseman. Stop swinging at pitches 4 inches out of the zone. Montgomery's tough. I get it. He's a crafty lefty, but come on. 2-2 pitch here to Caballero. Stays alive. Tough pitch there inside part of the plate. Fights it off. But I think that you are in a position right now to have that room. And so Boras is typically one to have his clients go all the way to free agency. He does not tend to have those guys sign the contract extensions with their own team. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. 3-2. This is what I'm talking about, Caballero. This is more like it. You'd have a walk right now if you didn't swing at that stupid pitch. But this is better. It's better. 3-2. Cabby gets low. Fouls it back. Just gets a little piece of it. Little bit of a piece of it. So I go all in on this myself, Sean. I'm hoping that the team's going to take this approach. I can't tell you that I've got a good feel for what the team will do. They haven't been necessarily big spenders in recent years. Now, is that because the right player's not been out there to go get paid? Maybe. Is that because they're cheapskates and they don't want to spend any money and they're more worried about their profit margins than winning? Well, we'll see on that this offseason, won't we? 3-2. Hard hit ball right at third base. And he will throw Caballero out. Cabby put a nice stroke on that ball, just right at the infielder. What are you going to do? Williams is in an interview. DePoto said, we have more bats coming up from our farm leagues than we have future pitchers. Cool. Coming up from our farm leagues than we have future pitchers. JP Crawford up the plate, though, when I'm thinking about your question, William. JP up the plate here, takes 0-1, 1-1 now. I mean, there are some bats down the second level, and I can see that maybe more than the pitching. I think that he's kind of saying that with his tongue in his cheek because batted foul, because you've sort of raised the young pitching prospects up to the major league level now. You know, even if especially if he's considering Graham Hancock now basically at the major league level, it's like Graham, Brian Wu, Miller. Go down the line, you've kind of brought up all the major young gun arms that you had down there. So, I mean, he's a nice hit there by Crawford. He strokes this out into right field. I do like the Mariner bat approach through the lineup overall. They're through the lineup, they're being pretty patient out here. They're making Montgomery work. And you're seeing some good line drive strokes out here. Guys not trying to do too much with it here to start things off in this game. So good approach by the Mariners of the bats here just to kind of begin things for the most part here. Julio Rodriguez up to the plate now. Runner on first. Inside. Ball one. Montgomery keeps him off the inside there. Don't you get out extended over the plate. I might try to hit you in the hands. Scary moment the other night where Julio took one right off his hands. You go, no, not now. Julio doubled in his first at bat. Inside. Oh, God, they're going to say he went 1-1. I don't know if he actually went there. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Yourself alive. Keep yourself. But yeah, William, I wouldn't say that I'd feel good enough on just relying that the farm guys are going to come up and start hitting. Hitters sometimes take a long time to find themselves, even once they're ready to get up to the major league level. I mean, look at Jared Kelenic. You know, even can't miss prospects have that happen. I think whatever comes up through the lower level system, you've got to look at as kind of a bit of a bonus at this point. You're in a place of contending. You're not in a place of, to me, waiting. And if you have, there is sometimes having to make a choice between those two things. 1 and 2, as we saw this year. That's the choice we made this year, is we're going to wait rather than try to contend this year. But I think the argument is to be made now, it's time to contend. And that means I can't wait on bats that we think are going to be ready to go, especially knowing how that stadium, you know, chews up, spits out young hitters at a crazy rate. That's just my take on it. Bouncing ball to first. He will throw Julio out. JP will get up to second base there. 2 men out. Sour Vanilla says Ty is so slow, man. He needs to get in to do some like wind sprints this offseason. He's also a guy that doesn't look like he works a lot on his running. You know, he seems like a bare minimum, I'll run when I have to kind of guy. Teoscar Hernandez steps up to the plate now. 0 for 1 in this game. Ooh, 1. Sector 7 says the Mariners should have access to trash cans down the last stretch. I think, you know, if we're going to finally look to draw a little bit of some fair play here, we're going to look to maybe balance the scales. I can't say that I don't. I think I'd agree with you. I think we got to start trying to, you know, we have a sin unmet, a wrong unrighted. When are we going to do that? When is the time? I ask you, how long will we wait? How long will we let this sport bleed? 2-0 to Teoscar Hernandez. JP Crawford on second base. Hernandez not been swinging the best of bat against the Rangers this year, only hitting .222. Outside. Nice high. Ball 3. Keep taking here. Teoscar. I know you might be looking for the meaty pitch. I guess you got to let him swing away here. I bet you he just throws a breaking ball. He's got the first base open, though. No, he came in with a four-seamer there. Missed it off the plate, though. Ball 4. Yuquan says they should trade Marco Gonzalez for bats and then actually get 2 or more high batting average power bats, even if they can't get Shohei. Yeah, as said below on that one a little bit, as Voodoo Magic talks about below on that one, Yuquan, I don't know if there's any real value to Marco at this point. Coming off the injury, he hasn't exactly played very well in recent seasons. He's not a power. He's especially the kind of pitcher right now that's kind of dying out in the Major League Baseball level, being the guys that have to hit their spots and don't have the power stuff. I mean, it's, 95 is becoming the prerequisite, unfortunately. And I just think that you might get a little bit of something from a trade, but you're probably getting more of a, not an impactful bat like you're talking about a bit. We got a 1-1 count here to Cal Raleigh. Inside ball. You're probably in a place of having to give him up for peanuts. If they do look to even do that, they may just go, there's no value in trading him. Let's just have him as another arm we can call upon if we have another injury situation where we lose a couple guys next year. They got to figure out what they're going to do with Robbie, too. This ball's hit on the ground, foul. Cal just kind of turned that one over. It was on the far outside part of the plate, and he just kind of yanked it down the third base line. Yuquan said the bullpen needs to be better. Yeah, I think you got some arms to work off of within their Voodoo, and Dipoto has shown a pretty good acumen with being able to put together a bullpen year in and year out. So I think that you'll be able to find some other guys to add to the mix. You got Munoz back there, Brash back there. I think Greg Spire's still coming back. I mean, you've got some things kind of put together back there. It needs to be better, but that's not going to be. I mean, the tough road to cover, the tough ground to cover right now is going to be getting the hitters. That's been the tough part for us to add. We can find the relievers. We can figure that out. It's been the hitters that's been it's like got to go on an Indiana Jones adventure to unearth one. Chrono says people need to stop throwing at Julio's hands. They're going to break something one of these days. It's the truth, man. I mean, what they're trying to do is keep those arms from getting extended because as he did in that first at bat, it's death if you let that guy extend his arms. But they are being more than willing at times to miss a little bit extra up, inside, and high. It does have a little bit more of, wow, they're really riding that up on his chest. And, I'm going to say I just hope it ain't purposeful with that. That it is just we don't want to get the arms extended. But I do notice that a lot as well. 3-2 count here to Cal Raleigh. Swing and a miss. Pitch well out of the zone, down and low. That will be out number 3. Mariners retired after 3 innings. For them, no runs. We'll go to the bottom of the third for the Rangers, up 1-0. Sour Vanilla got a new chain. He did. Hopefully it's a magical chain. Gifted to him by the woman from the deep. Yuquan says yes, but I don't think Marco are worth any value for the team. I mean, I believe Wu, Miller, Ray, and then 3 other starting pitchers are better than him. Yeah. That's why I think they'll probably Yuquan just roll with him. Or if they move him, maybe they try to move him as some kind of kicker part of a trade for a team, where there's more of a centerpiece with another prospect, and then he's kind of tossed in there as the kicker aspect of it. I think there will be some trades made with between Robbie and Marco. They're going to offload some of this stuff. I just don't think that the stuff you have to offload is going to bring you back anything in return of any real, value. JO, a 3-team race for the division, 9 games to go. The cream will rise to the top. Go M's. Well said, JO. This is all you can ask for as a team. I mean, you'd love to be in a position to be a front runner up 10 games right now, and riding high and feeling good. We aren't in that place, but as a secondary spot to be in that you'd like to be in is to say, well, hey, at least we control our own destiny. We're not beholden to other teams losing here and losing there. We go out there and we handle business through these last 3 series of a very long baseball season. We can get ourselves in the playoffs and we can have a chance. And that's cool. It's cool that they've gotten into this position to do that, and hopefully they can make something happen with it. All you can ask for. William Leonard says, at least France isn't as slow as Vogelbach. Remember that one time he tried for a double and was so short? JP was like, really? Yeah, I do remember that. His little legs churning. You can hear him. It's just, I can hear him through, like, I can't hear you breathe, but I can hear you breathe. You know what I mean? As I'm watching him run, I can feel him breathe. Too many burgers last night. Just throw me out. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 here to start off the bottom of the 3rd inning. Evan Carter up to the plate, hitting .324 this year. Big Country says, I'm tired of the runners in scoring position issues. We're 22nd in the league. And indeed, Big Country, I think you're tired of it. Why? As I often say, same thing we talk about on the football side of it. I think that you apply this as a baseball fan. I think fans this is where I really do have a lot of sympathy for fans when they get to a spot of frustration, because we as fans often get shaded for having premature frustration, Oh, you're calling for heads too early. Oh, you're freaking out too much. Oh, you're da-da-da-da, right? But there are those points a fan will bring up of things of, hey, this has been going on for a few years. It's kind of frustrating. Ball's hit on the ground, foul here. So we got a 1-2 count to Evan Carter. And indeed, when you look at the runners in scoring position, this is an issue that's been popping up for years here. And I think that it's one that there's a lot built within it, why it's not been corrected. I mean, at the base level of, it's not been corrected because you haven't had good enough hitters. It's not been good because you've had too many hitters that strike out too much. You have too many hitters that are too home run dependent. You hit in a ballpark. The ball's hit on the ground. Nice play by JP. Oh, Logan Gilbert getting over there fast. Evan was running up that line. First, JP with the ball batted coming right up near his face there from where he's at. Able to just sort of fall back and pick it and then get back to Logan Gilbert, who does a good job of getting there early on the coverage, right? Sometimes those pitchers are late on that coverage, and then it makes the throw tough for a guy like France to kind of throw to the bag where the pitcher's coming to. But instead there, Gilbert was to the bag already, so he could just throw it right to the spot. Nice job there by Logan. Taking a big, deep breath. He had to probably run hard to get over there. 1 man down here in the bottom of the 3rd. But this is, to me, why it frustrates you too, Big Country, is that you go, let's maybe start to take steps to realizing a fix here. And this is where I come back in my mind on a Big Country, which is in looking as a multi-pronged process, you need multiple hitters first. We got a strike there. So 1-1 count here to Marcus Semien. You've got to first and foremost, look to get away from those hitters of the past, being right-handed power hitters that strike out all the time, especially. Batting average, on-base percentage, an ability to control the zone with their bat, an ability to go the other way. I don't know if I just said less strikeouts, just looking for hitters that are more in alignment to this, hopefully with some speed. You don't need all of those things, but look for those as the more of the main tenets in the hitters you look for. And Logan with a nice pitch there for strike 3, 2 outs this inning here. What did he get him there with? He's got him with what in the hell was that? Is that a cutter? I don't even know what he threw him there. What was that pitch? Corey Seager up to plate now. 2 men down. So I get you being tired of it. I'm kind of fed up with it a little bit too. I'm a little bit fed up with it too. And this is where they can take steps. We'll come back to the Shohei thing, and it doesn't have to be Shohei, but this is why Shohei fits so well, because he checks off all those boxes that I talked about. But multiple. If it's not Shohei, then go out there and really deal with this. Don't be like, well, we got 1 hitter now, we're fine. You've got to get things upgraded in all of the places that are kind of weak as it stands right now. Batted back up the middle. Crawford right there in good position there to throw Seager out at first base, and that will end the third. Logan pitching well here early on through 3 innings of play. He's given up 1 run, but nothing this inning. Working fast and working smooth. Sour Vanilla, is the bullpen gassed? Yeah, I think it's probably been tapped pretty hard lately. You know, they were hoping at one point, I think, to have a little bit more of the 6-man rotation, and it's been a lot. Voodoo says Marco's in the last year of a contract. He'll probably get DFA'd, but Ray won't be back till July. Same with Hancock. Oh, wow. I didn't get that update on Hancock, Voodoo. Did he have to get the... Yikes. Yeah, that sucks. Those arm injuries for pitchers are brutal. Devo says Cal was going to swing no matter what. He gets into those modes. Yeah, you can feel him where he just amps up before the bat. He's like, I'm swinging it. It's certainly the place of improvement for him as he goes forward. And then with that improvement, you'll see him not only getting more walks, but you'll see his batting average get better. If he can learn, because he's doing the damage he's doing right now without really doing any controlling of the zone as a hitter, being Cal. He doesn't get himself often into hitting counts. He's swinging at pitches wildly. You know, he opens the door for pitchers to not have to throw him fastballs because he just doesn't have a good still sight line view on those breaking pitches and how to kind of swing at him. And it's tough. I'm not knocking him. He's a very good hitter. I love Cal, but you know, that's the place where Cal, as he's starting to go forward here, to kind of maybe get a little bit better at, hopefully, and he'll be a monster if he can figure that stuff out. Some guys can, some guys can't. You know, some guys, that's just who they are when it's all said and done. But Ethan Brandon, what do you usually get from Starbucks? So when I go to Starbucks, Ethan, I'm kind of a maniac about it. I'll go and I'll get a quad grande peppermint mocha. I don't know why. I got it years ago as kind of my go-to, and it's really strong. So there's very little milk in it. It's like a lot of coffee, but then what I do is I sip on it like we do through a show. So it'll last me, 4 or 5 hours sometimes throughout a day, where I'll just be kind of sipping on it. I like that part of it, as opposed to doing the 2 pots of coffee where you're just drinking. I don't know. I'm not as much into that anymore. I just like having my nice strong, just take a sip of it and it hits the spot, gives you that little smelling salt injection. 1-1 count here to Eugenio Suarez now to begin the top of the 4th. Eugenio 0 for 1 in this game. Montgomery up to 56 pitches in this contest. Outside good eye there, 2-1. Sour Vanilla says we seriously are going to lead Major League Baseball in stranded runners. Yeah, we have to fix it. It's unbelievable that we're so bad at it. It's stunning sometimes how bad. Like, you just think by the law of averages sometimes, like some regression to the mean. Like, okay, now we've got to have, come on. No. Have a great day says just throwing balls, trying to get to Ty France. Eugenio, strike 3 on a high pitch. Where was it? Out of the zone. That's right, folks. You know what time it is. You know what time it is with this Mariner lineup. A little bit high there. Voodoo says Kansas City Royals remind me of a young Tampa Bay team, gritty and tough with minimal payroll. They're handling their business with the Astros. Well, they're doing their part. All we can ask of that young, plucky crew. I love that comp, Voodoo. That's an awesome comp. And, Casey's got a pretty well-run organization. They had their one run there, right, where they got to that World Series a few years ago and turned things kind of back over. And it's kind of the nature of how it goes. And, they're turning it back around. But they do they feel like a pretty solidly run. I know they fly beneath the radar. And France is going to pop this out right to the shortstop for out number 2. Got him on the hands. But I like that. That's a great comp. Devo says Logan seems to give up runs early, so this is a good sign. Yeah, he's a guy that tends to take a second to kind of get locked into his rhythm. And then once he does, he can become almost nigh unhittable. So I think it is a good sign here. Dylan Moore steps up to the plate. Didn't have the first Didn't have very good at bat that first time up. Takes ball one, though. It's a nice start to this one. Low, ball two. Voodoo says, I got an extra day off of work today, so I went to the casino and lost 2,000. Oh, shoot. I should just have worked. Oh, Lordy. Dylan Moore gives this one a ride to center field and deep. This ball's carrying off the top of the wall. I guess that's a double. I hate this rule. We never seem to get the right end of the rule. It's got to be a home run. We just got caught by this like a week ago, didn't we? Where we had one ball that went on the top. Dylan Moore just gives us a hell of a ride, and it goes right off the top of the yellow. God, we hit it again. We just did that like a week ago. Three more inches higher, it's a home run. Oh, the baseball god sometimes, you know. Come on here. So more on second base here with two men out. Sam drips so hard, Haggerty steps up to the plate. 0 for 1 in this game, and he takes a ball one. I think Sam went wrong when he started going goatee. He seemed a lot stronger as the clean face, baby face kind of thing, you know. Swing and a miss. 1-1. D-Boy in the house. What's up, D-Boy? Voodoo, you got to do my underdog fantasy, man. That's where you need to be doing your rolls. So you're probably in the state of Washington. They don't let you do it in the state. All right, Haggerty's got a 2-1 count here now. He's hitting 278. One of the few Mariner hitters in this lineup hitting well with runners in scoring position this season. I mean, I know it's 278, but for us, that's like hitting 390 with runners in scoring position. All right. Runner on second here. Low. Good eye there by Haggerty. 3-1. Nice job. Montgomery's trying to get this Mariner lineup to nibble. Three-one pitch. Probably going to be taken here. Low. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. So Sam drips so hard. Haggerty will get the Mariners' second walk of the game here. Continuing to make Montgomery work, even though they're not putting runs up on the board. The Mariners do have 4 hits, and they are making him kind of move through here, making him motor a bit here, as we're only into the top of the 4th inning. Sour Vanilla, isn't Hancock on a second Tommy John? How old is he? Not good, dude. Yeah, that's not good. That's definitely a point at that point where you're going, okay, well, we're not, that's it. We get to that point where I think in baseball, certain positions and spots where they go, or players and their, how you view them of, okay, what they bring to us now is bonus. Like Country's talking about those, or not Country, but William Leonard, I believe, was talking about the hitters that were on deck down the lower end. It's like, great if they come up, great if they develop in that way. Can't necessarily count on them, in my opinion. Not with where we're trying to get to next year as a team. This ball's hit on the line. Foul. Yuquan says, like maybe Russell Wilson is even better than Dylan Moore at bat this point. Oh, Moore got a hit there for you, man. He almost got a home run. You were looking right on the last at bat, though, Yuquan, on a strikeout. All right, Caballero, 0 for 1 in this game. 0-1 count here. Trying to see if he can turn around these Mariner woes with runners in scoring position. Yeah, nasty breaking ball at the lower part of the zone there by Montgomery. He's been missing with that low throughout this game, but he put that right at the bottom of the zone on that particular pitch. Caballero, 0-2. Golly. Jeez. Just swings at a bouncing ball right in front of the plate. Strike three. Mariners today have been back in their, they've done a good job of taking pitches, but they've definitely still been in their kind of free swinging form. 5 strikeouts through 4 innings. And of those 5 strikeouts, I think probably 4 of those have been guys swinging at pitches that are out of the zone on the strikeout. I know these guys are trying to do something good, but you just can't force it. D-Boy says, what's up, my people? Just saying hi. I'm at work, but I'll be listening in. Much love. Peace. Hey, peace to you too, D-Boy. Hope you're not working too hard out there, man, but good to see you in the chat. Sour Vanilla says, I used to hit lefty off lefties. I feel like Cal could do it too. I was a lefty too, Sour Vanilla, and I always had a hard time with it. But I never got to see lefties either, when I was coming up. So that's what always made it tough for me is I'd see a lefty and then I might see one year, go through Little League, you might see one all year. You get into the high school edge of it, you might see one every 5, 6, you weren't going to see them much at all. So that's what made it hard for me. And I just couldn't, whenever I was hitting, I always wanted to throw my shoulder open. It was like you're protecting yourself almost you have to fight yourself to keep that shoulder closed. It's tough. It's a skill if you were able to pull it off. John Leon says, I believe Eugenio leads the league in Ks. Yeah, I think he's right up there. You're going to have, I believe with Julio, Teoscar, and Eugenio, you're going to have probably 3 of the top 10 guys in strikeouts in the sport. If you look at Kelnick, he's probably one of the highest rates of strikeout guys in the sport. It's not really hard to pinpoint exactly where the lack of runs come from or why you have a hard time hitting with runners in scoring position when you're not putting the ball into play. That's the problem with all those strikeouts is that, or those are all Ks and pitches that occur where you've got guys maybe potentially on scoring where you're not just like getting sawed off or just able to kind of knock a ball out into left field and have it just drop in front of a fielder. Those are 0 chance of that happening when you have a strikeout. There's a very small chance of it happening if you're not getting a good swing on the pitch and putting the good wood to the ball, but there's a lot better of a chance than the 0% chance when you're striking out. And that's where we come back to, in my opinion, more of that control the zone, better average, better on base percentage, less strikeouts. And you're gonna see an improved Mariner lineup with it. All right, Gilbert back out to start out here this bottom of the 4th inning with Nathaniel Lowe. He's got a 1-1 count here to Mr. Lowe, who hits this up in high to Julio in dead center field, and he's right under it for out number 1. Sarah Vanilla says, I hope Eugenio can find the form again. Me too, man. Me too. I think they've got him on a pretty cheap deal this upcoming season. I mean, both with him in France, you kind of have, he's a little bit, I think, in a better place than France has been because he has at least given you that power. And he gives you a really good glove out there, third base. But here you can't, you're probably not looking at trying to upgrade in both of those 2 positions. 1-0 count here to Josh Young. 1-1, swing and a miss there. Gilbert moving with a nice rhythm here to his pitches. He's got some good movement. Ball's exploding off his hand as it does. Ball's hit on the ground to third. Eugenio up with it. And he will throw him out. Ty France quickly 2 down. Y2K says, good to see you in here. Love you as always. Thank you, Y2K. Much love to you too. We're going to get a couple more games out this year and for the Mariners. So we're going to looking at tentatively we'll do tonight, Monday, and next Saturday will be hopefully the streaming schedule here for the Crow's Nest. I got a cool little microphone now too for my iPhone camera. So I'm going to start doing some videos for the Mariners channel here and also for the Hawks channel there down here by the river because I live right by the Spokane River. So I've got some cool spots to set up for some backdrops and whatnot. It's kind of cool. Looking forward to that. Please hit that like button if you could, guys. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it. It's good to see you, Y2K. We got a 2-0 count here to Adolis Garcia, a guy that has definitely been one that you're seeing Logan pitch very, very carefully to. 2-1. Adolis 1 for 1 in this game, and he had some good hard swings in his last at bat off Logan. So understandable why here with 2 outs. If I'm Logan here, I would play with a lot of I'm okay walking the guy kind of thing here, right? You go, if I walk him, it's okay. Not the worst end result here. Goes up high and inside. That'll be 3-1 now. Logan working fast. Swing and a miss. Nice slider there. Missed it. Kept it out of the zone still. Willing to walk him. Let's see if we can get him to swing and miss. Keep it low. So even if he does get the bat to the ball, he's not going to do anything with it. Very nicely done there. Let's see if he can finish him off. 3-2 pitch to Adolis Garcia. Ooh, low. Another nice pitch. I love Logan not giving in there. I really do. Don't let Adolis beat you in this lineup, you know? I mean, he hammered you the last at bat. Puts a fastball again right down at the ankles. If he does swing at that, he ain't going to do anything with it. Don't miss high. Don't miss into the center of the plate with it. I like the decision there by. I know there's a lot of this guy coming up not this guy, but it doesn't get easy in this Ranger lineup. But you got 2 down. You had the free base to kind of give up there. The tactical decision works out here. Jonah Heim up to the plate. 1-0 count. High, ball 2. Don't lose your spot now, buddy. D-boy, it seems that to me that Cal hits a lot of his home runs with pitchers low in the zone, but pitchers keep pitching to him low in the zone. Why is that? Not complaining, though. I believe that I would bring it down to this ball's hit up into the air. Come on. Stand. Just outside there. 2-1. I believe that it comes into a tale of 2 sides of the plate, in my opinion, on that D-boy. When you have him mainly when he's hitting that way, when he hits right-handed, to me, D-boy, he hits traditionally like you would see right-handed power hitters hit, where they're looking, just like with Julio, they're looking to get their hands extended. Full extension on the hands. If you miss high and at the upper part of the plate, they're going to reach that stuff and they'll crush it oftentimes. And, I've often railed at that when you get lefties, and I know it's weird, but the difference on a lefty-righty stroke is it just kind of the lefties have that natural ability to get to the low inside pitches in a way of that's their hot zone. And runners trying to steal, and Garcia's going to get there to second here. 2-2 count. Too low. And so with Cal, what you see him doing is he's got that traditional ability to get down and into those low pitches on the inside part of the plate or even into the middle part of the plate. What pitchers are tending to try to do, though, is that they're trying to pitch him out in a way to the outside portion of the plate when he's batting left-handed, because whether he's hitting lefty or righty, Cal is not really a hit it the other way kind of guy. He'll do it occasionally, but he's really more going to try to dead pull stuff. And so as a pitcher, what you're trying to do with a guy that's going to do that is if I know I don't have the danger zone of him extending his arms out as a lefty, and Cal's more often not hitting lefty, of course, then all he's going to be able to do with that ball if he's unwilling to hit it, like sometimes on those outside pitches, D-boy, the only way you're going to actually get any power on it is by driving at the opposite field. And if you try to pull it over, you're going to just roll the ball over. It's going to be a 2-2 count here. This ball is a base hit out into left field, not even hard hit, but this is going to bring a runner home. Great job by Adolis Garcia to get the stolen base there to put himself in scoring position. Not a bad pitch by Gilbert, just got him in on the hands and he was able to fight it off. Both of the 2 hits today from the Rangers were on pitches that, he's right on the hands or inside out swings that get you today. That's tough. From Logan's standpoint, the first run the same way. Just got in on the guy's hands and just fought it off, and it was enough to make it happen. Bad luck there for Gilbert on that. Hard to fault him with it. So 2 man out, 1 run in, bottom of the 4th, 0-1 count now here. So I think that's what really stems from that, D-boy, is that you have those pitchers, they'll try to aim for that outside lower half. But then you end up it's very then easy to miss just inside of that point. You've got the plane of the pitch in the same spot. You're just missing now trajectory-wise a little bit, 5-6 inches in here, and then you go from being into the cold zone to the red hot zone. Cold zone, red hot zone. And that's why I think you see those home runs coming, is that right where he is hot, the edges of it are right around where he's cold. And so it's the tough part with Cal. It's the hard part of pitching to him. It's why he still has those power numbers like he does, despite the low average and the high strikeout numbers, is because it's easier said than done to hit those spots as a pitcher. And it's very easy to be off by 2 to 3 inches. A lot of hitters too, D-boy, it's like they'll have their hits warm, cold spots in more varying areas where if you're missing, you're not necessarily missing right in the red hot heat. 1-2 count here to Mitch Garver. He hits this hard and out into left field for a base hit. It's kind of off the end of the bat a little bit, but got just enough to poke it out there to left field. Rangers got something working here. 2 men down, runners on first and third, 1 runner already in. I thought for a second that stroke that he had with it was like that was going to go a lot deeper than it actually did. Gilbert can get himself out of trouble with minimal damage here, though. Y2K says apparently Demo's hitting over 400 versus fastballs. Real bad versus everything else. That's a hell of a split. Woo! Yeah, it must be hitting like about 50 on the curveballs then. Ethan says we need to get that Rangers bullpen as soon as possible. Yeah, we do. Montgomery is dealing right now. 5 Ks, 4 hits. He's making tough pitches when he has to. All right, Logan, getting ready here. Batted up into the sky, up into left field. Haggerty underneath it. Whew. Okay, well, 1 runner in. 2-0 Texas. See if the Mariners can do something here in the top of the 5th. Big Country, that was a trash swing. Yeah, that was a freaking that Caballero swing was dumb. Again, you're a light hitting utility infielder. You can't really afford as that kind of player to be swinging at pitches 9, 10, a foot and a half out of the zone. It doesn't really add up. That you got to know who you are. You're in there to take those kind of pitches. Buddha Magic says, I guess Dion got silenced today. Ducks look tough. Ducks do look tough. Bo Nix. Tell you what, it's insane right now watching this college football season with the young quarterbacks, where we've had so many years in recent years where these quarterbacks have come into the final year of what you're looking at to be their prospect season. Like, you're going to be draft eligible after this year. Here's your make or break it year. You played a little bit prior to this. Are you taking steps forward? Are you looking better now? And we've had so many guys in recent years taking steps back and that final year and looking lessened. And this year, all these quarterbacks are looking improved, looking better, are their best selves that they've been in college football, and they're playing magnificently. But yeah, I think that they also kind of, they already were going to have a tough game here against the Ducks, Voodoo. Like, it wasn't going to be easy as it was. And then you go into their home stadium like that and start stomping on their O logo and start like disrespecting their stadium like that. Like, I mean, Dion should know better with that type of stuff, I would have thought, than letting him. Maybe he wasn't aware they were doing it, but there's hopefully a lesson that he's taught him. Like, okay, so we don't go stomp on other people's logo. That's probably not the best thing to do before a game, right? It's probably not smart. Sarah Vanilla says, I need whatever Roy Adolis Garcia's on. Yeah, dude, that guy's got some unusual jackedness for a baseball player. Looks like a football guy out there. He's definitely pretty well built. All right, 0-1 count here to J.P. Crawford. Mariners are going to turn the lineup over here to begin this inning. Montgomery at 73 pitches for the game. Crawford 1 for 2. Bats this up into the air. Third baseman is underneath it, and he will make the grab out in foul territory. So one man down. Voodoo says Texas has no gaps in their lineup. No, they don't. They're strong all the way through. Definitely a little jelly when you see how deep that lineup is. Julio Rodriguez up now. He's got a double in this game. 1 for 2. Hits this right in front of the catcher. Catcher's up with it, and he will throw Julio out at first. Quickly 2 men down here in the top of the 5th. He says that's so lucky, blue pits. Yeah, the 2 runs they've gotten today have been off 2 blue pits. Inside out swings, man, just where the batter's just fighting off the ball is basically what he's doing. And but those are the type of swings when I lament about the Mariner lineup having those strikeouts. It's those kind of swings that you have to be capable of putting on a ball when you're in a 2-strike count, and finding that those balls will find holes. Those balls will find landing zones where there will not be a fielder there. And you can go from it saying, well, there's, you have that kind of swing on that kind of pitch is like about a, 11% chance you can get a base hit on that. But there's a 0% chance that if you're striking out on that pitch, you're going to get that base hit. And that's a big difference, especially when we talk about over the course of the season, the difference of those times happening versus not in lieu of a strikeout. Teoscar Hernandez with an 0-1 count here. Montgomery is very comfortable right now for the Rangers. He's hitting his spots, and boy, badly fielded by Seager there at shortstop. I don't know if they're going to give Teoscar a base hit or not there, but kind of a weird effort by Seager there. Didn't look like he hit it tremendously hard. Well, no, he just couldn't get to it. I'll give him that. He wasn't quite able to get to it. Not the rangiest guy, Seager. All right, Cal, redemption time, buddy. Redemption song. Come on. Inside, ball 1. Runner on first, 2 men down. Rangers up 2-0, top of the 5th. Cal relaces his gloves, yanks on his pants, and gets ready to roll. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there by Montgomery. Nice breaking ball. Voodoo says M swinging early. Got to work them counts to get to the pen. Yeah, they did a decent job in the first time through the lineup of not necessarily doing too much swinging early, but it's definitely second time through the lineup's been swing city a little bit here. Second time through the lineup onwards. 2-1 count here to Cal. Mariners looking for some life offensively in this game. They've got some hits, but just can't bring anyone home. Low, ball 1. Or sorry, ball 3. Ball 1. All right, Cal, look for your pitch, buddy. Look for your pitch. Boy, he gets a good swing on it deep, but the center fielder is on it. Boy, Cal gave it a nice ride to the deepest part of the park. But great job by the center fielder. He got a fantastic jump on that ball. And that will retire the side. Mariners, 1 base hit, no runs, more runners left on. So for today, you've got the Mariners 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And they have left 7 men on base. This is, I like how teams have been causing the Rangers to basically free fall this month by, but we can't. This is more of a feel thing than I can go to as far as like I can back something up with data on this. I mean, the wins losses do back this up, but it does seem like the team just kind of into September lost a little bit of that same kind of juice that they were pushing with through August. You know, they had that tremendous winning streak, set the franchise record for wins in the month of August, and then just kind of seemed like that was their kind of shot, you know, and they've been holding on and they've been playing not bad baseball, but they have also not necessarily been playing really good baseball either on the other side of it. Like you need to do right now is as you had not given yourself that kind of room for error to just kind of have a middling September. And it does feel a little bit like that. Voodoo says, I signed up for YouTube Premium with no ads, and it saved probably an hour a day for me. Well worth the $12 a month. Yeah, I think it's probably a smart move. I think, too, as well, Voodoo. I mean, they're moving, I think, more and more to the more of the, you know, they're going to eventually find a way through the ad blockers. You know what I mean? Like, they're eventually going to find their way to making people have to watch those ads one way or another on that platform. And it might be the thing that eventually puts YouTube down if they do try to go that route. But I agree. I think you're smart probably getting ahead of it on it. But that makes sense. I try to keep my ads minimal on my football side. I do just front and back of videos. YouTube's trying to get me to do on my live streams, you know, like put a bunch in. Like, I don't think people would like that. All right, we've got the bottom of the fifth inning now, starting off here with Evan Cada up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 in this game. Gilbert at 65 pitches here. Oh my goodness. Batted ball down the line. Fair. This will be a double. Nothing really hard hit off Gilbert today outside of a one or two hits. The ball's finding its hole. Like Rangers got the luck on their side today, leprechaun up their butt or something. I mean, just a dumb swing there. That whole swing was just dumb. And they find a hole. Found a hole over the left side, third base side. 9-hole hitter. Golly. 0-1, Marcus Semien up to the plate now. Tough. Ball batted down the third base side. Eugenio's with it, able to keep the runner at second. Not able to get over to third. So that will be out number 1. Nice job by Eugenio. Gave a long look there to second base before going to first. It looks like the Mariners are going to go ahead and intentionally walk low, which makes sense. Makes complete sense. Ball's up to left field, and Haggerty's out on it, and he will make the catch. 2 men down. Swing. A miss. 0-1. 2 men down here. Josh Jung up to the plate. Logan trying to work himself out of cut trouble. Ooh, low. Nice job by Cal Raleigh staying in front of that one. Astros down 3-0. Thank you, Big Country, for the update there. That's huge. It's huge. Bottom of the fifth over on there, Houston. Batted ball on the third base side here. Eugenio up with it, and he'll walk over to third base for out number 3. We will head on into the top of the 6th. Logan Gilbert has done his part in this game, in my opinion. Only 2 runs given up through 5 innings. And he has pitched really, really well. Can't fault him for where we stand right now. Montgomery's been tough as hell. No doubt about that. But Logan's pitched himself a pretty good ball game here. I guess I see a little bit more of where Kelnick has hit lefties pretty well today. Definitely going with the right-handed lineup today was the lefty absolutism thing, righty absolutism thing, the way they leaned in this game. Man, I have an idea for the Mariners to score runs. That's a good idea, Ethan. They should take you up on that. They should maybe try that. That might work. All right, 0-1 count here to Eugenio Suarez starting out the 6th inning. Mariners down 2-0. Montgomery still on the hill, on the bump with his 84th pitch will be a ball. So 1-1. Eugenio 0 for 2 in this game. Boy, line shot. Boy. Lady Luck's just not on the Mariners. There's some of those days where you just feel like the ball's not flying or floating in your direction or way. Eugenio lets it rip, sends a nice hard line drive right to the left fielder. Cal Raleigh last inning with an absolute piss missile shot to dead center. Just center fielder's on it right there, not finding holes. And then you have Houston on the other side of it hitting these little slapdash, seeing eye singles. And they're up 2-0. And the universe may not be in our favor today. 1-0 here to tie France. 1 man down. France puts a good swing on this. Hard hit right at the left fielder. Oh my goodness. Did I just call it or did I just call it? Another solid shot, just like the last hit. I mean, they're not getting too much under these balls. They're putting it on a line. It's just going right at the fielder today. And there's been more than a couple of these. Yikes. This is one of the tougher days I've seen from the Mariner lineup with putting good swings on pitches and it just not finding any holes. Goodness gracious. Ooh, 1-0 here to Dylan Moore. Moore batted to the ground to the third base side. He's up with it on a nice throw by the third baseman to toss him out for out number 3. Voodoo says, I can't remember when the Mariners had a big offensive inning. Hopefully it's in the next couple of innings. I can't really either. And, this is the offense this year. It's been brutal. Runners in scoring position, any kind of consistency, going through whole games where you just don't feel like the offense is doing a whole lot to threaten we've had some runners in scoring position today, but we haven't even felt like we've really been threatening them. It's tough. It's hard going back to the same thing kind of over and over again and saying, oh, this again. It's like, and I'll tell you, I got PTSD from being in that stadium 18 innings last year without us able to score one single run against the Houston Astros. Like 2 full baseball games of 0 runs. I've never literally seen anything like it in my life. You would have thought that game would have been a hallmark moment for the organization. We're like, okay, we've got to do something about this offense. Okay, we've got to do something. Evidently not. Hopefully they will this offseason, Voodoo. But let's see if they can maybe pull this one out. You're only down 2 runs. Gilbert's still here on the bump. 72 pitches for him so far. Here comes up his kryptonite for the game. Steroid Olivas Garcia. Rodolphus Garsteroid. Allegedly. He's got those Dominican Republic goods. You know what I mean? Ethan says, I was there. Yeah, you were there too, man. We were sitting there. You got the smoke from the forest fires, probably giving us lung cancer. We watch a team not able to, and bless the fans, 18 innings of standing on their feet and 2 strike pitches, and that game was exhausting. That wasn't fun. That was exhausting. It's kind of how the American games can kind of be at times. You're just like, boy, hope up. Hope up. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Logan Gilbert. Got him, it looked like, with the slider, or maybe that was a change there. But he got Dulles out on his front foot, swinging right through the pitch. Gilbert's really spun a great game here. He's pitched well enough in this game to have a shutout, to be frank. Just Rangers lineups did a good job, just get enough of the bat on the ball in certain given moments. 1-0 here to Jonah Heim. I'm 1 for 2 in this game. One of those guys that got just enough bat on the ball in the last time up. 1-1, nice pitch there, swung and miss. Voodoo says, can't believe the Astros are putting up a goose egg against a pitcher who's 4-17 with an ERA over 6.5. He's just finding it today, I guess, Ball's batted foul by Jonah Heim, 1-2. John Lees is just a walk and a dinger to tie it up. That's all we need, man. All we need. Ethan, even if they lost that game, it was the most incredible M's game I've ever been to. It was a cool environment. I'll say that. I can't say it's the most incredible game just because it was like, there was a point for me by the 15th inning where there was a dear God, just let it end quality to it that I usually don't want to feel in my sporting events. And it just, that was so brutal. No runs. No runs. 2-2 count to Jotunheim. Bad foul. Voodoo, if only Logan can hit. I know. 3-2 count. Logan's going to go ahead and walk Jotunheim. Big Country only 2Ks today from Logan. I think it's been that he wanted to come in this game probably make sure that, there's times he can start to get a little wild in the zone. And, if they're going to beat me today, I don't want to let them beat me because I'm not working the zone. I'm not staying in there. I think that's been a conscientious effort by him today a bit. He's been on it too. He's had his good stuff, but that is how it's kind of appeared to me at least. 1-0 count to Mitch Garber. Swung, check swing. Strike. Ethan says, agreed. The 4th or 15th, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work for us. Yeah, it was. By that point, you're going, okay, please. Let it end. Especially because we were down 2-0 in that series. Like, we need that game just to stay in the series. Strike. Logan gets the benefit of a call there on a high fastball, 1-2. Garver 2 for 2 in this game. He's been annoying as the 9-hole hitter in this contest and hitting .438 with a bomb against the Mariners this season. Gets this one up into the right field. Dylan Moore is underneath it, and that will be out number 2. Big Country says, I've noticed we've had a hard time generating whiffs this month. Yeah, it's not as been much. The pitching staff is probably overall a little taxed here. You've had so many guys go down that you were probably hoping that could lengthen out the rotation. They had that whole plan for the 6-man rotation thing that went to hell the second that Hancock had his issue. So you just probably, everyone's been a little bit taxed trying to get by, I would guess. But that's all. I mean, it's a guess, 0-1 count here to Tavares. 0-2 on a swing and a miss. Don, Ranger Power says, the Crow's Nest. Hello. What's up, Don? Happy autumn. Happy autumn to you too as well. Hope everyone is well. We're doing great other than the score. That's the only thing. Says, also happy spring to everyone in the Southern Hemisphere. Hope you're having a good spring. And winter already is looking like it's going to arrive here early this year. I'm not looking forward to that. Usually we get a nice warm September, somewhat warm beginning of the October in the Pacific Northwest. Doesn't look like we're getting that this year. A little crispy out right now. All right, 1-2 count here. Runner on first, 2 men down. Rangers up 2-0. Gilbert comes set, looks in. Outside, it's getting a little nibbling here. Did the last thing on the last at bat. Even that was the first playoff game of my life. Sad but true. Oh. Well, I understand why that experience would be so cool. It was a great environment. The fans were turned up. I'll tell you that. Everybody was ready in that respect. The team just couldn't hit anything at that point. So after getting this 0-2, he's now allowed this count to get to 3-2. Logan's getting back into some of his worst, those last couple of batters, into some of his worst habits where he'll get up ahead and then start trying to nibble a little bit. Come on, put it to bed. Yeah, you let him walked him. Zang, zang, zang. Don says, I root for my Mariners when playing any team other than my Rangers. Likewise, the other way around. I appreciate that, Don. The Rangers got a good team this year. It looks like they're going to decide to take out Gilbert here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Service not liking what he's seeing. So Matt Brash will be the one who makes the call to come out from the pen. And folks, I will be back in just a quick moment here. If you will bear with me, please. I shall return very quickly. Evan Carter back up the plate here for the Rangers. 1-0 here for Matt Brash to start things off. And it's at bat. Strike. Runners on second and third now. A wild pitch there from Brash in the first one. Hit hard down the line, but foul. 1-2. All right, Brash, get the K here, man. Just get the K here. Don't overthrow the pitch. You don't want to put another one to the backstop. Boy, there's a lot of movement on that pitch. That thing was a frisbee. Carter 2 for 4 this series. wearing Mariner pitching out this season, hitting well over 400. Brash comes set. 1-2 delivery. Hit foul. Carter staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. All right. Can't afford to get a bit more runs here. 2 runs already in for the Rangers. Ooh. What a play there. Ty France has the ball bounce off of him on a grounder, go right to Caballero. Caballero picks it up cleanly, throws it then over to Brash, who's covering and doing a good job like we saw from Logan Gilbert earlier in this game and covering from his pitching position. But nice reactions there by Caballero the ball he's to the right of Ty France by a couple of feet. The ball bounces up into him and just bounces up into Ty France, kind of eats him up a little bit, goes right then to the second baseman, who then throws it very quickly over to the covering first baseman. Good job there. And wonderful play. Wonderful play. There we go, Mariners. Let's get a little momentum on that now, huh? So we'll go to the top of the 7th here. Mariners down 2-0. No runs, 5 hits for the Mariners. 5 hits, 2 runs for the Rangers. The Astros are still down 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning to Kansas City. 2 outs there. Just to keep you guys abreast on the game. Okie dokie, here we go. First pitch swinging here for Haggerty. Knocks it off the inside sole. Foul. Foul. La, 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 la. This ball is hit up into the air. Back foul. 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch here to Haggerty. Batted to shortstop. Easy play. J.O., is the Ranger starter still out there? Indeed he is. Indeed he is. All right, Caballero comes up to the plate now, hitting .223 on the season. He's 0 for 2 in this game with a strikeout. Already been a couple moments he's swung at pitches that have bounced in front of the plate, and he does so again here for an 0-1. Oh, 1. Shows bunt, pulls it back. 1-1. Probably good he showed a bunt there because that ball was going to be bounced in front of the plate again. He might have swung on it. 1-1 delivery. Really nice pitch there by Montgomery. He spun a curveball in the outside bottom half of the zone, tucked it right in there. Well done on his part, 1-2. He's made some really nice pitches today. Bounces another one. Nice job by Caballero there, not swinging. Draws this count to 2-2. Foul back. Stays alive. Check swing, foul. Two count now here for Caballero. Fouls this one out. Nitro Cam Ward is throwing some lasers against the Beebs. I can't wait to check out that game on the highlights. That'll be one of the ones I'm checking out tonight. I'm doing some prep work for some of the we're going to do a prospect show at B&B on Wednesday, and I wanted to look at a couple of the guys that we're going to be kind of featuring on that show, and he's going to be one of those guys I'm going to look a little bit closer at. Caballero with another strikeout here on the 2-2 count. He stayed alive pretty well through the course of the bat, but then just kind of meekly swung at the final pitch there. So that will be 2 down here in this inning. Mariner lineup continues to look very, very anemic here. Not able to really challenge much. Montgomery's pitched a whale of a game, that's to be admitted, and is a good pitcher for the Texas Rangers. But, yeah. Big country, we might not see Kelnick in this game. We might not, man. I will say Montgomery's definitely getting up there as far as the pitch count goes. He's drifting up right around the 100 mark. In fact, he just went past 100 with 101. So I would estimate this is going to be his final inning. But you now are back to the top of the lineup. To your point, this ball batted on the ground by Crawford, throws out at first base, and that will retire the side. So we find ourselves through 7 innings, as we have in recent years all too often, with the Mariners at a big donut hole on the scoreboard. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to checking out Cam Ward, Nitro on that. Definitely a guy in play for our Hawks. I just, the more these quarterbacks continue to play so well across the board in college, I just feel like Schneider's going to jump on one of these guys in the 2nd or 3rd round. I do, especially that if they end up keeping both of their native 3rd round picks, then I would certainly say that I see one of those native 3rd round picks going to the quarterback position. All right, one more second here, guys. I'll be right back. Nitro says, I like Ward feels like his accuracy has been inconsistent. Usually, hopefully, he can be better develop it. And look how he's looked today. Agreed. Yeah, that was a part of definitely improving from last year, with him. Look at his. Let's take a look at his. Look at his PF. So we got a 1-1 count here on Marcus Semien. Rangers turning their order back over. 1-2, swing and a miss. Brash back out on the hill. The bump for the Mariners for a second straight inning. Did well to help get out of trouble after Gilbert went out. Get the last out in the last inning. So you got, with Cam, you got a guy who last year, 64% completion rate. To your point on that, 72.2% completion rate to start the year out so far. I mean, these quarterbacks are doing it across the board. It's amazing to see. 2-2 pitch gets him right on the hands to swing right through it for a strikeout there, out number 1. But you just go down the line of these quarterbacks, man, and they're just all playing really great ball and taking a step forward. And it might seem like, well, duh, Brandon, college quarterbacks and every next year they go forward as they play, will play better. Should improve. That's a natural thing we should see, right? Base hit up the middle here for Corey Seager, hard hit ball. But the answer is actually no. What's happened in recent years is that has not been the case. Sam Howell didn't put his best year of tape out in his final season. Bryce Young didn't put his best year of tape out. Will Levis didn't put his best year of tape out when he came out in recent years. You go down the line and it's, you go, no. So the fact that there's so many of these guys, including Cam Ward, including Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, Quinn Ewers, all of them look like they've improved, and some very significantly, some from what we've seen in prior years. And it gets me excited, and it is why I do believe we look at the Mariners really looking at, or the Seahawks looking at really taking a quarterback in the draft. Duran Ever says, damn it, Mariners. Duran, it's frustrating as hell, man. I'm trying not to be too negative or toxic here with it, but I mean, another game here where we got to watch an offense. They can't even put one effing run on the board. I mean, not even one. And no, I guess not. Another game where the strikeouts are through the roof. Another game where the team across from you is, maybe not through the roof like 10 or 11 strikes, but 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. The Rangers on the other side of it, three strikeouts and 4 walks. I mean, the Rangers got a lot better lineup than we do, and it's both in its length. But it's also a lineup where the hitters have showed a better approach, and that's why they've got 2 runs up on the board. Logan pitched every bit as good as Montgomery did in this game. But the difference being is that you have 2 moments here where the Rangers, we got double play ball here for Eugenio. And he is able to, hey, stop it. Stop that. Cats decide to attack. Double play ball there to get out of the inning there. Nicely done by Matt Brash. Good job by Eugenio. And Crawford had to kind of find his handling there with the ball. Eugenio sort of threw it in there hot. But you have the Rangers on the other side of a Duran where they've got their 2 runs on kind of 2 just, sawed off inside out swings where they're just getting the bat on the ball and 2 strike situations at times. Just it's good things can happen when you do that. You see the difference of approaches, not just the difference in lineup construction here. And that's, to me, a bit of the difference of the game as it stands right now. Nitro Hawks' Alabama quarterbacks are rough this year. Yeah, I think both the Alabama program and the Clemson program are 2 that have not necessarily adjusted to this new NIL world in the same way as fluidly as some of these other programs have. And they seem to be kind of one of those programs starting to kind of find their way with that a bit. Losing to Texas last week was an eye-opener, and you don't have Bryce Young there no more. kind of wonder too if it's going to be hard, Alabama, when you look at, like, if you're a quarterback that's one of the best of the best quarterbacks out there as a prospect coming out, and you're looking at colleges and you're open to going anywhere across the country, how you don't first land at USC or then go, well, not USC, then Texas with Sarkisian there. And if not, then Georgia, if not that you don't necessarily get to Alabama as sort of the first one you look to go like, well, this program's got, it's got a long history of putting quarterbacks in the NFL and them having success. That's the other part that probably factors into them drawing that kind of talent in there. Williams says, I wonder if Russell was the only Seahawk not at the Super Bowl 48 reunion for today and tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sure, William, it was. But as Nitro says, it's, or as Ethan says below, it's probably also that's that way because he's got to prepare for a game. He's fighting for his football life right now. He can't be like, Sean, hey, I'm going to go take a couple days off of practice so I can go fly out here and then fly back in and then we'll fly out to the next game. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I get it. I wouldn't hold Russ to account on that too hard. Julio steps up and takes a first pitch strike. The Mariners are finally able to get into this bullpen of the Rangers. Jose Leclerc comes out for them, 2.98 ERA. Opponents hitting 191 off him this year. Top of the eighth inning. Julio hits it hard on the ground right to the shortstop, who's up with it, and he will throw Julio out for out number 1. Sean Lee says, I'm not sure if Earl was there. I haven't seen any pictures of Earl there, so that may be another guy not there. Been very quiet with Earl since his last situation came out publicly. Nigel says, felt like Clemson started falling off before the NIL. Yeah, maybe they were kind of not, they had kind of, were starting to maybe kind of fall back a little bit, Maybe they just had a really good lightning in the bottle situation for a couple of years there, and it just sort of kind of fell back. I think there is a little bit of that to it. I certainly think the NIL hasn't helped them, though, in their process. 0-2 count to Teoscar Hernandez, who's 1 for 2 with a walk and a single, and 263 on the year with 25 ding-dongs and 90 RBIs. Nature says, well, who knows where Earl is anymore? Who knows, man? Who the effing hell knows with that guy? Ooh. 0-2. Ooh, he almost got him to bite. That's rock. Has anyone watched the season of Boom? And is it good? I watched just a little of it. I haven't watched a lot. Teoscar is going to swing at a pitch good 8 or 9 inches off the plate on the outside corner for out number 2. William Anderson says, I think Earl has just straight up lost his marbles now these days. I think Earl was probably always a little bit of a live wire, William. I mean, you listen to some of the stories coming out of KJ's podcast, and he just always seemed like there's a little bit of just, he just kind of was wired in his own special way. So best way I can put it, and you hear these stories coming in and you're like, okay. Another hard hit ball by the Mariner, Cal Raleigh here, but just right at the fielder. There has been some hard hit balls today that have just gone right at him. And sometimes it's just a tough luck day on that side of it, on top of it, just can't get the breaks your way. There has been a bit of that at play here too, as the Mariner batters have swung and hit some things pretty hard. Just it seems to go right at the fielder each time that you do, and that is going to be out number 3. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, no hits, no runs, and no one left on. Mariners down 0-2. Yeah, it's a little sad of what's happened to Earl. I think too, some of this has been Earl's brought it upon himself, though. A little bit less hard for me to have the sympathy thing when, I think that there's a little bit of and I'm not trying to judge the guy. I don't know. I'm making a guess, but I do think there's probably been throughout some time some attitude stuff that, when you're winning and all's going well, I mean, it's great. When you got a guy though that now your career's over and you're still kind of that way, it don't gonna work. Sean Lee says, okay, top 5 Seahawks safeties of all time. I would go with, this is my list. I know people disagree. My list is going to be Kenny Easley with number 1. My number 2 safety all time would be Eugene Robinson. My number 3 safety of all time would probably be Earl. My four would probably be Cam, and my 5 I think my 5 is Darrell Williams. Darrell Williams kind of underrated. He had a good couple years when we signed him as a free agent. But those would be my 5. Topa coming out now for the Mariners, taking over for Brash, who did his job, inning in a third. No runs given up. Nice job by Brash. Getting a stop. I can get the save today, but he'll get a stop. Niger says, feels like sometimes you have to be wired differently for this sport, but sometimes people are wired too differently. I think that's a great way of putting it, man. I do think that you have to have a certain bit of, I don't know, just I can't even kind of probably describe it. But you probably have to have a certain something extra there to make it go, and both for good and bad. And that does probably cut two ways, both ways. And like you say, it can go extreme, but you do have to have a little bit of that nature of being, wild and free and let it rip kind of attitude on things. And that helps you on the field, I'm sure. That's for sure. John says, nice. Love that list. Yeah, I feel good about that one, man. I do. I feel like I like that. I'll probably go with that spot. And I'd probably put even a Diggs at 7, probably 6 or 7. I'd give you to 7. I'd go Diggs 6, 7. I would go with Hamlin. How about that? I'll go 7 deep, Sean. All right, 0-1 count here to Dallas Garcia. 1 man down, swing and a miss, 0-2. Mariners bullpen trying to hold on here to give this Mariner lineup one more try. No doubt we are going to see Kelnick next inning. I would imagine it'll be something like France, Kelnick, Haggerty. Probably something that you're looking at. 0-2 count here to Dulles. Swing on the ground, right up the middle for a base hit. Boy, Garcia takes a wide turn. He take a wide turn. Topa just left that right up in the middle of the zone. Kind of lucky there that was just a base hit. He put that right in the middle of the plate. WSU up 28-14 on Oregon State. Strike. Cameron Ward, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions to start his year. Good stuff. 0-1 to Jonah Heim outside, 1-1. High outside, ball 2, 2-1. Rangers 1 out. Runner on first, up 2-0 here. High, ball 3. Sean says, laughing out loud, nice. I go back to the Easley and Robinson days. Nice to see them get the props they deserve. Yeah, those guys really do need to be remembered about by the Seahawks fan base. And, I get the whole thing with, young people are going to enter into the sport and, they're going to be aware of the players that they got to see play. And it's going to be hard for them to have as much appreciation for the players who played once before. But when you start looking to try to make a comparison between Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas and guys like Easley and Eugene Robinson, it's one where those guys were really great in Cam and Earl. They really were. But you look at Eugene and Easley being a Hall of Famer, and I don't know if Earl and Cam get in as a Hall of Famer. If we talk about just not our perspective as fans, but also what the national perspective is on this one. And I just think that that's right. And Eugene Robinson as well. It's like Eugene Robinson had more interceptions than I think Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor combined. If we're talking about that, and he was a good run defender, and he was a leader, and he was a hitter. I mean, like you couldn't pick any part of Eugene's game away, and he played for more time than both of those two guys. 2 out. Topa able to get a swing and a miss there for strike 3. Good job by Topa. Mariner bullpen doing their part here this game. Nitro says, I wonder if WSU and UW will schedule week 1 every year to do the Apple Cup. I sure like it at the end of the year, Nitro. But they'll get it scheduled one way or another. There's no way they're going to go without having it played. Runner going from first, a sport. And he couldn't have put that throw in any better position for Caballero. I mean, he literally threw him out. He threw the ball to the guy, literally threw and hit the guy. What a great throw there by Raleigh. Fantastically done. And the Mariners get out of this inning. The bullpen does its job throughout this game. Hell, the pitching's done its job throughout this game. 8 innings of only 2 runs given up in total. The bullpen's gone 2 1/3 without any runs given up. Now let's see if this offense can perhaps reward them. You're going to have Eugenio Suarez, Ty France, and then I would imagine Jared Kelnick is your 3 stack that's going to come up this inning. Let's see how they can do. Show me the stack. Show me the stack. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. Better not go into extra innings because I'm going by hungry. Jaden Daniels, KJ Jefferson playing okay. Boy, KJ Jefferson is definitely not Cam Newton as a scrambler. I have to flip over and watch that Notre Dame OSU game. Oh, damn, the Huskies game is on late tonight. Nitro says, I like it at the end of the year, but also, do they ever have non-conference games at the end of the season? It's a good point. It's a really good point. I suppose you're probably right on this, that they're probably going to have to do it at the beginning of the season in light of that, because the conference is going to want the games to be played at the end interconference. So that does kind of add up. Nitro, Colorado got embarrassed bad. They did. They brought it on themselves. 1-1 count here to Eugenio Suarez as he'll take a low in the zone fastball there for 1-1. Leclerc still out on the bump here for the Rangers. Suarez 0 for 3 with a line out in the 6th in his last at bat. That ball a little too low there. Ball 2. And away here, Eugenio. Be patient, buddy. We need 2 runs. We need a base runner. More than we need the big fly, big swing. That'd be nice too, but, you know. Ugh. Check, swing, strike. Take that, Birch. He could have 3-1 here now. Instead, he's swinging out of the zone. Ay, 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 ay. They get themselves in so much trouble with this lack of zone stuff, man. They get themselves into such tough hitter counts by just swinging at pitches that are so wildly out of the spot. 2-2 count to A. Eugenio. Low. Ball 3. There we go. Should be ball 4. Be patient here, Eugenio. He's definitely trying to work the low end of the zone on Suarez. Goes back to that spot. Suarez hits this up high into the air, and it's going to drift foul and back into the stands. Suarez has really struggled against the Rangers this year, hitting only 100 as far as his batting average is concerned. Bounce foul. Suarez staying alive. And Colorado got themselves embarrassed, but Nitro, they just kind of also ran into a super legit team and on the road. And I still think what Deion Sanders has done there has been phenomenal work. Strike 3. Suarez swings right through a pitch. That was in the middle of the plate. And he just swung right through it. He got a pitch there. He got a fastball right there. I mean, it's throwing 98, so it's got some juice and it's got some movement to it, but Ty France up now. Oh and 1. France hits this down the line, and this is going to get down for a base hit. France takes a wide turn, and he'll settle on in there. Nicely done by Ty France. 1 man down. France on with his second base hit of the day. Let's go. And now the man comes up, who many thought got shafted in this game by being put on the bench in favor of a utility hitter, in favor of the lefty-righty split. And that would be one Mr. Jared Kelenic, who steps up to the dish with a wry little smile on his face, looking like Hangman from Top Gun 2. Let's see if he can save the day like Hangman did in that saving Tom Cruise's butt. Spoilers. Or am I supposed to say that on the front end of things? It's like the Rangers are going to think about making a pitching change here. They're giving a lot of thought to it. There's a heavy discussion going on now. Rangers have got the lefty in the pen. I think the Rangers are just trying to buy the lefty more time. Is this going to be one of those things where they go through all this and then the manager comes out anyway? Isn't this the whole point of the pitching, the speeding up the pitch clock, is that you don't have moments like this where they and now he's going to make the change. Dude, F you. Like, seriously, F you. You couldn't manage your bullpen in the first place to anticipate that was going to be something that was going to happen. Ugh. It's the whole point of the pitch clock is the teams don't do that stuff where they artificially lengthen out the time. So Chapman, the closer, is Chapman's going to come out now to try to close this up for them. So he'll take his 3.5 hour walk. Ooh-wee, Dante Corleone. 6 tackles, a sack, 2 tackle for losses for Cincinnati. I think I got my draft man crush. I think he's him. They call him Dante. Corleone. Corleone. Corner. That's the guy we want. Wu-Tang says, "Sigh, the Rangers just have our number." Indeed, it seems that way. This has been a bit of a hard luck game, too, for us. Wu-Tang definitely wasn't probably as much that last night, where they were able to just get to Miller and get going. In this game, it's been a little bit of, look, they got us. They've been able to take advantage of the kind of the worst inclinations of our lineup, struggling with hitting with runners in scoring position, striking out with runners in scoring position. They've had a couple balls fall in, land in that are just on some swings where they just got just enough of the bat on the ball to get it into a place where you didn't have a fielder. It's tough. It's a tough loss. This is why you'd love to give yourself some room for error coming into these final series, so that if you have a hard luck game like this, you can kind of weather that and bounce through. But this is almost in a game right now as we stand of more of a, you need this desperately, this win. That ball is going to be bounced to the backstop for a 1-0 count. Aroldis Chapman, the lefty in the game. Tough here for Kelenic. Lefty on lefty. The flamethrower Chapman on the hill for... why are they sending the guy back to first base? Why are they sending the runner back to first base? Chat, what's going on? Rangers are being weird here in this last part of this inning. Like, they just decided to all of a sudden have like a brain fart or something. Like, what's going on? Like, you guys want to play or what? Like, they dinked around for a half hour on the hill to talk about it over so they could let the guy warm up. And then the catcher's over there like, 1-0 count. Hi, Chapman. A little wild here to begin things. Voodoo Magic, why is it Rojas or Canzone pinch running for Ty Prance? I don't know. Oh, whoa. 3 straight pitches that have been wildly out of the zone here for Chapman. So he'll go 3-0 here now. The big stick drips so hard on deck. 3-0. Kelenic taking. No surprise there. Kelenic 4 walks last night. Showing some good eye at the dish. But I think Voodoo, it's probably, Big Country says they'll probably be pinch hitting. That's probably the reason. 3-1 count. Chapman gets set. Hi, ball 4. Jared Kelenic, the new walk king of New Orleans. He's going to go to first base. Ty France will go to second. And the Mariners find themselves with the winning runner up to the plate. Top of the 9th inning, 1 man down 2-0 in this baseball game. But yet an opportunity to steal this one away yet. Can drip so hard. Ham Swaggerty get it done here. Outside ball. Oh, come on. I was out by 3 inches, outside by 3 inches, Blue. You called a good game. You're going to muck it up on this one? 0-1. Low, ball 1. Goodness gracious. Drip Haggerty doesn't need that kind of stuff right now. The drip doesn't like it when you don't call the play right. Blue. 1-1. Swaggerty hits this into center field, and this is dying, but quick catch. Out number 2. And it looks like whether or not we win this game is going to be on the bat of Luis Torrens. Luis Torrens. Haggerty got just a little bit of lift on that sucker, and it was enough for the center fielder to come in and make the play. So 2-man out, down to your last out. No runs yet scored in this game for the Mariners. Can they prevent the shutout here? Can Luis Torrens, the man with the magic stick, he's got the magic stick, hitting 280 on the year. He's a pretty good fastball hitter. Chapman likes to throw himself some fast balls. See how it goes. 1-0. Voodoo says, don't like Haggerty hitting when Canzone was available. It's a fair point. I certainly don't have any faith right now with Haggerty coming to dish. This isn't like it was last year with how he's done. 1-0 count here to Torrens. Low strike. Boy, the umpire's widening his zone out here in the 9th. That's two straight bats here that have had bad calls. Blatant bad calls, too. 1-1. Hit hard right at the shortstop, and he is going to throw him out. You hit a lot of hard balls in this game. You did do that. I can't say the Mariners didn't have some swings where they put some good hard hit balls in play. It just was always going right at the Ranger fielder or outfielder. And sometimes the ball bounces that way in baseball games. And this was not a game just about that. It's also a game that shows off where you have the problem issues in the approaches of the dish from your Mariner batters, as we saw today, where you have 8 strikeouts, only 3 walks in this game. On the other side of it, the Rangers were able to only strike out 4 times and get 4 walks. You know, they had moments where they were able to get the bat on the ball when they had runners in scoring position. And rather than it being them driving a double into the gap to bring 3 guys home, it's a little seeing eye single out opposite field. Just happens to land in at the right place. And it's just enough for the Rangers to come out of this game where Logan pitched really well, every bit as good as Montgomery in this game. And yet the Rangers were able to scratch out those 2 runs. You don't have a lineup that can scratch or carve runs out. Like the Mariners have to kind of do it the hard way in order to generate run production. And it's one that is a very hard way to find any kind of consistency and hope that you can be a dominant contending team when you're leaning on that all the time, unless you just have a lineup stacked with 30 home run hitters all across the board. And the Mariners don't quite have that. Tough. Until tomorrow, Mariners are definitely losing a little bit of room for error here to be able to go out and do something. And right now the Houston Astros are catching back up the Kansas City Royals in that game 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th out there. So we'll see if they are still going to be able to stay relatively about as close. Mariners are going to have to start getting hot here at some point, though. They got to start putting some W's on the board here if we're going to try to get out into the playoffs. But it is what it is. Don says, game over. My Rangers did win. Better luck tomorrow, Mariners. Thank you, Don. John says, until tomorrow. Oh, and go Cougs and go Huskies. Go Cougs, go Huskies. Ethan, I'll see you tomorrow. Man, I'm so frustrated. I am too, Ethan. I am too. And I'm not going to get out the other end of this season getting, super pissed. But if we land at the end of the season with these kind of games happening as they've had, where it's can't get runs, just can't get runs, we've got to get some bats in. Got to get some bats in here. You can't make it another year next year of, well, we just can't hit with runners in scoring position. Guess we'll just trust the farm system. Farm system will solve it. No. Don, the Crow's Nest. Thank you, Brandon. Be seeing you again tomorrow for a Seahawks live stream. Hey, you know what, you guys, we will be back on tomorrow over on my Hawks Nest side of it. So I'll be on at 1 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier tomorrow. We got a weird thing. I'm going to be doing 2 streams tomorrow because we're going to be doing stream through the game. And then I'm heading over to the Bleacher Report for a half hour. And then I'll be coming back over for post-game discussion over on the Hawks Nest channel. So a lot of Brandon coming at you tomorrow, like it or not. I know I'm a little bummed out, folks. Just tough to watch another game like this. I'm getting I'm getting flashbacks back to that final game of the year last year against the Astros and in the ballpark there with us outscoring runs with 18 innings, just going, man, it's just feeble sometimes is how this offense can look. And it's a lot of room for improvement, a lot of places to improve, but a well-pitched game today by Mr. Logan Gilbert, a well-defended game by the by this Mariner team. They were awesome out there in the field today. Made a couple of very nice plays. There's a lot of good with this team. The bullpen held up 2 1/3 innings. They did their job. A lot of good with this team. But it does come back to kind of that same old rhyme, doesn't it? That same old story. We get back to always the chorus, don't we? You know, and the chorus is that the offense comes up just a little bit short. Let's see if they can turn it around tomorrow, salvage a little bit of this series still as of yet. Hopefully so. God, I hope so. It'd be nice to see. But still a good team, still a good young team on the rise, and we still got a lot of good to feel about with this team as we go forward. I appreciate you guys watching today. Please hit that like button on your way out the door. I really would appreciate it. And until next time, which will look like I'm going to try to come back on Monday here and do a live stream on the Mariners at that point, so we'll try to bounce back by that spot. But I do appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a great night, and I hope you also don't ever